So you have all heard it. The Seattle Seahawks just hired their new head coach after nearly like a month after who's going to be the head coach? Is it going to be Dan Quinn? Or did fools like me think that Jim Harbaugh was going to be the head coach, which that wouldn't have happened due to that relationship that Jim Harbaugh has with Pete Carroll, which is not a good one. But the Seahawks, they went ahead and hired Mike Macdonald of the Baltimore Ravens. He was the defensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens, which I do like. Personally, I do like this hire. They're hiring a young guy. But before I get into this, to show my excitement, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification. Now, my thoughts on this isn't really going to amount to much just because I haven't really looked him up enough and all that kind of stuff. And this is just based on what I've seen. But he has fielded a good defensive unit where it has been consistently top 5. Helps especially when you have John Harbaugh as your head coach, and now looks like he's going to take everything that he's learned from Harbaugh and hopefully he can take that to the Seahawks, because the Seahawks need of fixing their defense is an absolute need. And it's not so much because of the personnel that the Seahawks have on defense. They have a really good, talented defense. It's just that Clint Hurd was just a very atrocious defensive coordinator, and I would hope that we don't see this guy in Seattle ever again. But what I'm excited about is he will bring a winning culture. Seems that John Schneider wanted to go for the young guy because Pete Carroll was that young. He seemed to be the young man. He was in his 70s, but he seemed like that he was still in his 40s with that high level of energy, and I would hope that Mike Macdonald can do the same exact thing. Now, does this fix this Seahawks team and make them the Super Bowl contenders? Probably not. Excuse my English, but yeah, I don't think this will necessarily make them the Super Bowl contender necessarily. They still got a lot of work to do. They still got to improve on that defense, obviously, with personnel, even though it's talented. They've also got to reevaluate the running game, because Kenneth Walker isn't exactly the most durable running back, and Zach Charbonnet, he's got some ways to go, so maybe Seahawks should look to build on that running game. And also for the quarterback play, Mike Macdonald's going to have to figure out what he wants to do with quarterback, whether he wants to stay with Geno Smith or if he wants to draft a new quarterback, which I think the Seahawks should absolutely do. And one of the quarterbacks I want to see them get is at least Bo Nix, where I don't think he necessarily has to start immediately for the Seahawks. Just go under Geno Smith, even though I'm not a big Geno Smith guy. But I think that it would be a great idea to look into that. But aside from that, I'm very excited for this hire. Now, of course, it has to work out. He has to be a good coach, obviously, because we've seen it many times where many former defensive coordinators have absolutely failed. Just like Dan Quinn, he failed with the Falcons. The only reason why he was any good is because he had a great offensive coordinator in Kyle Shanahan at the time with the Falcons. So hopefully Mike Macdonald can pan out. We don't know exactly how he will turn out to be. But of course, we can all do the research and see how he does in a personality standpoint, but we still don't know that because we haven't really seen him obviously be the head coach, so we'll have to see how that all turns out. But those are my quick thoughts. I thought I'd just throw a quick video in there. Obviously, I'm in a break room before I head to work because hashtag don't quit your day job. And if you did like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification. And those are just my quick thoughts on the Seahawks hiring their new head coach. Thanks for watching.